I wanted to help out in the community, and I wanted to be a part of, like a social organization here. No, I'm not really. I mean, I have been involved in like Cab Daily.
Okay, cool.
I was actually in that beforehand. They've done things for, I think it's American Cancers Society or one of those. And we've done that a couple times. Well, we did a food drive recently, possibly doing a sleep out for the homeless in association with, I think, another Greek organization who does that, but we're doing a food drive for hungry. No, I did not. I mean, I think we reacted appropriately. I mean, yeah, I think so. It's not that I don't think that we should be, but I don't think my friends in the fraternity necessarily would like, or anyone. I mean, I don't know. We do actually. I mean, we're actually trying to do something with another organization that is nationally involved with our national chapter, an association with 1 and 4 here. So I'm not. I mean, we were actually just kind of disorganized at the time this happened, but like last year's events happened. But we're trying to get more into that. Well, no, I don't think, no, I think we just weren't, we just didn't have enough money really, I mean, to do much of anything. Like, we don't have enough brothers. At the time, there was just kind of a fallout there. But, now we have more people and resources, and we're kind of building ourselves back up so we can actually raise money and do something. And I think we'll be doing that soon. I guess we just didn't really feel comfortable. It's not so much that I was discouraged by anyone. It was really just me feeling uncomfortable, and because I think everyone was uncomfortable, and I didn't believe that we would actually be able to do anything. Philanthropy and activism. I mean, it should be pretty much concordant. I mean, well, not the same things, but the same causes, but their values should be pretty much aligned.
I feel like you're more under the microscope as far as I don't know, anything bad that happens as far as Greek life, it's more concentrated, especially on sororities. Not really. I mean, you can be as involved or as uninvolved as you want to be. I go to as much stuff as I can, but I'm also volunteer at the hospital and I do research, so it's a very small part of who I am as a student here. But I mean, you can choose to do whatever. And, you don't need to do government, and you don't need to run anything. But it's nice to be part of that kind of organization. I think that it is definitely kind of a unique place to be. I feel like you have such a mob mentality where it's you could get by with I don't know, kind of bending the rules. I don't think it really happens a lot here. A lot of the people that I know in Greek life, especially in fraternities, they're very nice, normal people. They just happen to be part of the club with a lot of guys. But I honestly think if it hadn't been here, it would happen somewhere else. And it's kind of nice that it gives us an opportunity to take a look at our Greek policies and all of that and see kind of how we're handling different cases within it. And honestly, there was a change for better. I mean, I wasn't actually Greek at the time. I was second year. So this kind of, well, it was right as I was starting to pledge. Yeah, so I mean, during the time, I wasn't super involved. I was actually home a lot of the time, during the walk of shame, what did they do? So I actually didn't get to see it, but like a lot of people in my hall that actually are Greek now did participate, and it was kind of a factor in them deciding if they wanted to actually go Greek or not. So I think the way the university handled it was kind of influential, and like everyone being willing to be part of that system that had been like under such scrutiny for a long time. But it's been very interesting.
I'm in two CIOs, and I'm part of the executive board in both of them. One of them is Bhakti, and it's a very spiritual thing. I don't think any of the people in there are involved in Greek life. I might be wrong, some of them might, but in general, I know all of them very personally, and I don't think they are. And the other one is a CIO for my country, Colombia, and only actually 3 other people in it are involved in Greek life. I guess benefits are that in general they're all very pushed into doing charity work or like other things, and I don't know how much that really makes an impact on real society or how much they really do it out of the bottom of their hearts, but they definitely try to be involved in the community, or from what I've seen. Apart from those benefits, I couldn't see any more benefits for my own life. Mostly that they create this very false expectations on people's heads that they think they have to live up to some social standard or be someone they were not, and they become very similar to each other in a way that's not good for your identity. I don't really, not in the university. Not because I don't like it or because I don't want to, but just because I've never really considered it before. The few times I've been active in the university is because external situations have made me want to be out there. So like scandals last year, those type of protests I did go to, but in a more constant level, I'm not really involved in anything. I don't think it needs to be criticized after it. I think it needs to be questioned, and not due to the article, but just in general. This is a system that started years ago, and it still holds many standards that by now we're kind of like getting over, but they're not. And I don't believe that they should be completely shut off, but just maybe reevaluate what they stand for and try to change some things a little bit. I think especially with the differences between fraternities and how sororities are so limited in everything.
I decided to rush because I knew a good amount of the guys in the fraternity, and to me it was just a good way to spend like the social part of my time while at school. Like I wouldn't have done it if I thought I could do better things with the time I had that I wanted to like do away from work. Well, yeah, I mean, I think that having that fraternal aspect of the brotherhood really is important. I think it's something that a lot of people don't really see until you're in it. I mean, I guess one potential downfall, I mean, some people might consider it a downfall, is the more you get into the fraternity system with your fraternity, just hanging out with other people, it kind of pulls you away from the people that you were friends with before that you just don't have opportunities to hang out with because there might be day functions or mixers on weekends, so you won't be able to hang out with them then, and like during the week you're trying to focus on schoolwork as much as you can. So some people could consider that a negative, some people might say that's just the friend group that they've chosen. I mean, I don't know. I guess there might be some things that I might have tried to put more effort into, and by that I mean there might be more clubs that I could have considered taking leadership positions that I just didn't because I knew I would want to commit myself fully, and I just didn't have that, so I wouldn't want to do that to the organization. So I guess you can say that, but I mean, personally, I've tried to participate in everything I've wanted to, at least to some degree. I was happy to see that, one, that wasn't true, and two, that what came out of it was this big momentum push to spread awareness, to try and change the culture, and even if it was a small change, it was a good start, or another step at least. Well, I'm actually the philanthropy chair of my fraternity, but I think that the Greek system really doesn't do too much on an individual like fraternity or sorority level on activism per se. I think they do more like raising money for charities or maybe causes. I guess you can consider that activism. But I think activism is more about like having a voice and sharing and spreading that voice and spreading the message, which I don't think that the Greek system does. But I don't think that's something that they need to do or we should expect of them. I mean, we're still all kids. But I think it's still important to have that philanthropic side. I mean, that's why I like wanted to be the philanthropy chair, because I think that the Greek system has a big influence in the power to affect change and to do great things. Like we've done raising thousands of dollars for different causes. So I think that that is something that's really important.
Actually, for me, the biggest thing was like more leadership opportunities. I think that it's easier to get leadership opportunities, especially when there's like you have that support system and it's a very small group of girls. So that's one of the main reasons I joined. From what it seems like, most of the girls are not social activists in the sense that they go out and protest. They're not active. I would be hard pressed to find someone who has like gone to a protest or anything more incendiary is just like you would not see someone Greek there. And I don't know if that's because others aren't going to it or if that's just not something they're interested in the first place. Usually like if one Greek person goes, like a whole slew of them go, group mentality sort of thing. But I would say that for the most part, when things like this happen, we're not legally allowed to take a stand. So usually a lot of times if something happens, the president just says, you can come voice your concerns to me, I'm open. But I mean, rarely are we even allowed to send out a statement, which is fair. There's just way too much going on and way too much sensationalism for me to feel like I could properly respond. So I did not do anything publicly. But around that time was all the Black Lives Matter stuff too. So I went to a few of those protests. I stormed the library, everyone hated me.
Yes! That was great, actually.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but again, there's just not a lot of Greek people involved in social activism, and I don't know, I mean, my fear is that they just don't think that those issues apply to them, so it's just not worth it for them to do anything. So like we have philanthropies assigned to our chapter, but also like charities like Relay, Camp Kesem, and Dance Marathon are like the big things that Greek members do, it feels like. And all of those are very important, but that's 3 things out of so many, and it's interesting to see what a huge proportion of people in Greek life do like for just these 3 organizations where there's so many. I'm sure. They definitely do. I think that there are probably mixed motivations in getting involved because it is a social aspect too, right? Like, I mean, I have a bunch of friends in this club, so I think it's a mixed bag, but it definitely frustrates me that I don't see more Greek life students either protesting what's going on or just recognizing it in general.